Forgiveness is a very popular topic in the spirituality and self development circles, but the problem is, what if you're not ready to forgive? What do you do then? And how do you become ready to forgive? And what even is forgiveness? I'm going to cover all that and more in this video. What I'm going to be talking about is the importance of embracing our anger, because that's generally the reason. I'm going to be giving you 3 ways to begin to process and release your anger at the end of this video. But first we need to understand forgiveness and how anger works and what it means so we can begin to let it go. I was at this event last weekend and it was really, really amazing. And one of the things we were working with was the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. It's a method to help bring people into balance and harmony and essentially forgiveness. But there was this one woman there who was having a really hard time with it. And the reason was because she was still so pissed off about all the things that happened to her. She's like, I'm not ready to forgive these fuckers. They did this and this and this. I'm mad. And this is one of the things I see very often with people who have trauma. We're not ready. This is how I was for years. I was still pissed off. And you know what? It's okay. And one of the things that happens in our world is we have such a taboo around negative emotions, especially anger. But it is literally impossible to forgive if you can't address these other things. So first off, what even is forgiveness? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not saying that whatever the person did to you is okay and they're absolved of all responsibility. Forgiveness, essentially, is letting go of our emotional responses and reactions to what happened. It's just letting go of our own stuff, which brings us into a state of balance and harmony. But we cannot do that if we don't feel our anger. I saw this quote online. It said something to the extent of, anger is like a fire. And if you keep fueling it, it will grow. Put your attention and energy somewhere else and it will dissolve. The thing though, from my perspective, is that's totally untrue. Now, what is anger? Anger essentially is simply an energy in your nervous system. That's it. It's an energy in your nervous system with a message for you. What happens is we develop all these judgments around what's positive, what's negative, what's okay to feel, what's not. And when we judge them, we suppress them and resist them. And that's where the problems arise. It arises from resisting what is and not calling all parts of ourselves into the light. So anger is simply an energy in your nervous system. And there's 2 components to it. One, it was a fight or flight mechanism from your past that didn't resolve, generally because you couldn't say no. Anger is an energy that's attempting to set a boundary either back then or now, but hasn't been able to do it or got stuck because it couldn't do it then. So jumping over your anger is only going to cause it to flare up more because it's telling you something. It has a message for you. It's like you need to set a boundary. You needed to set a boundary because we record everything and keep it in our bodies, like in this giant, infinite memory bank. And again, I understand that a lot of people couldn't set a boundary at a particular time, but we can in our bodies now. We can release it now. The other thing, the other message that anger has, which is similar, is something to the extent of, I deserve better. And as kids, when we had traumatic childhoods, we did deserve better. We weren't treated justly. We weren't treated fairly. We just couldn't do anything about it then. See, most people are afraid, especially men, that if they feel their anger, and they allow it, it's going to consume them and they're going to lose control of themselves. But that's not actually true. People who sort of flip out and lose their shit and go crazy don't lose their shit because they're allowing themselves to feel their anger. They're losing their shit because they're not allowing it. They've suppressed it so deeply for so long that it's just become pent up and it's unconscious, and all of a sudden one day it just fucking explodes and they lose their mind. So when you're aware of it, when you're allowing it, you're healing it. You're sending love to the voices in yourself, the voiceless parts of you that just want to be heard. Our anger and our power are directly linked, because anger, again, is just an energy. In fact, it's basically your life force that hasn't been fully integrated. So what are 3 things we can do to begin to process and release our anger? Well, the first one is to develop a conscious relationship with it. See it as part of yourself. See it as part of your past that was attempting to help you in a particular way and just wasn't heard. Inquire about where this frustration and anger came from. Where are you not setting a boundary in your life? And how can you actually see this as a beneficial force once it's integrated in a way that can help you? Learn to understand it and allow yourself slowly, as it's healthy and safe, to feel it, to process it, write about it, find the gift in your anger and honor it. Number 2, physicalize it, right? It's an energy in your nervous system that's looking for a release. But again, we want to be conscious with it. Take a boxing class, take a martial arts class, but set the intention that when you go, you're going to release the anger. You might even need to see, the punching bag as your father. We don't want to go actually get in a fight with our fathers or other people, right? That's unconscious anger. That's reactionary anger. Take it into a gym and be like, when as a kid was I not allowed to say no? And be like, fuck you, no. Seriously. Another thing you can do is you can push on something, push on a desk, push on a wall, and feel your body as you do this. Set the intention to send the anger out through your arms, your hands, your feet, the top of your head, and just notice what happens in your nervous system as you're releasing this energy, and see that that's all that it is. I do this with clients, and I'll take them back into a time when they couldn't say no, or there was something else they wanted to say. And one of my best friend's mothers, she's very funny because she's this really small little woman, and she's like in her 70s. And I'll have her sometimes just say what she wanted to say, or say what she wants to say to her husband. And she'll sit there like pushing on a desk, just be going, fuck you to her husband. And she'll keep saying, fuck you in his name. And it's really funny, but it's also very cathartic because it gets that energy out, and it's helped her like heal immensely. Like don't censor yourself when you're just processing it on your own. And eventually it changes shape based on your perception. Sometimes people are really, really tired and they don't know why. And the reason is because they're suppressing all of this force within themselves that's been resisted and become anger. And the third thing we can do, and I'll help with this a little bit right now, is you can start to do affirmations, because we need to call in new beliefs around anger. So we'll do a few right now. So the first one would be, it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay if I am angry. I can harness the power of my anger, and I can control what I do with it. I choose to release my anger in a healthy way. I choose to see the gifts of my anger. I choose to embrace and love my anger. It is safe for me to feel it. I can control my responses. I allow myself to release the anger from my past, from myself, and from my nervous system. It is okay if I'm not ready to forgive. As I make peace with all of my emotions, forgiveness, which is just letting go, will come at the time that's right for me. And just notice your body a little bit while you do that. And you can even start to push your feet on the floor now, push your hands on a desk now. So just gently start to move whatever is stuck in there. It wanted to say something, it wanted to do something, and it couldn't. Sometimes we have to go back and find those situations and complete them now. Please let me know if you have any breakthroughs, any revelations. Please leave any comments below. Please like and subscribe to the channel. For anyone who would like a little bit further assistance with this, I have a one-on-one coaching application linked in the description. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best. Peace until next time.